Welcome back, everyone. NicknLex here. Thank you so much for joining me today to this new episode of Music with Nick. Today we got a marathon idea, and I'm super excited because it's going to be more the jazz fusion route, and let's see what happens. So this is a band or bands that I've heard before. Of course, we're talking about Casiopea from Japan, and actually the bass player of this band is in a trio that I love, which is the Greg Howe, one of the Greg Howe projects. So if you want to check out Tetsu Sakurai and Greg Howe and Akira, I don't know exactly the last name, amazing stuff, and Dennis Chambers on the drums. Check it out, it's gonna blow your mind. But today I wanted to thank Eric from Queens. Thank you so much for reaching out, for getting this request, this triathlon, as we call them, these shorter marathons. They're only 3 songs, but I'm super excited to do this. So we're gonna do 2 songs and by Casiopea, one from Superflight and one from the debut, and it's in Japanese. So I'm gonna check out the information right now from the email that Eric sent to me, and then we're gonna play Tony Williams. And Tony Williams has been very big in my life because that's where Alan Holdsworth got his start. Not exactly there, but part of, you know, this is the old Alan Holdsworth kind of like school, you know. And I don't really listen to a lot of older Holdsworth. All that 70s stuff is kind of, I don't know, there's something about it that I can't get into that much. I listen mostly to 80s and 90s and 2000s Holdsworth, because that's when he really kind of like, I don't know, developed like this amazing style. And I'm sure fans know what I'm talking about, but the 70s stuff is also very good. So so let's check out here the list that Eric sent me on Buy Me a Coffee. Thank you so much. So it says we're going to do Sailing Alone by Casiopea. Then we're going to do Midnight Rendezvous by Casiopea. And then we're going to do Coming Back Home by Tony Williams. So I'm super excited. And the last 3 marathons and song requests that I've gotten have all been jazz. So I'm like in heaven here. Thank you so much for requesting such good stuff for the channel. I know this is not a jazz channel, and jazz is kind of like still kind of like very experimental. There's not a lot of jazz fans on the channel, like jazz fusion. Let's not say, because there is a lot of jazz listeners, but like all this jazz fusion stuff. So Superflight is from 1979. It's the first song. The second song, Casiopea, looks like it's their, or maybe they just called it Casiopea, also from 1979. And I love that they kept it in Japanese. And then Tony Williams, The Joy of Flying, is from also from 1979. So wow, we got all this jazz fusion from 1979. Thank you, Eric, for this, and let's go. Without further ado, let's go. And I appreciate it. If you're a fan of this music, or even if you're a newcomer to this music, or if you're just checking in, I hope you enjoy. You know, I hope you really do. So here we go with I'm sorry, not Superflight, but we're gonna play the first song, which is Sailing Alone. So here we go. Wow. So I kind of like I had no idea that actually Tetsu Sakurai was gonna be on this. This is the second album they ever released, and this is the song that he wrote on the album, the only song that he wrote. But as you can hear, the bass is very dominant here, and this is what his solo album. I mean, he has many, but the solo album called Gentle Hearts has like this touch of like a lot of bass and very cool ideas where just like he's the lead, it's like the lead guitar, but it's the bass, and Greg Howe just like gives his best Dennis Chambers, and also the piano guy, the piano player, which is not on this list, of course. He's some other player also from Japan. Amazing. So when I saw here there's a couple of Akiras, but not that Akira. Wow, this was just what I love about Casiopea is they have this, you know, it does sound of course like jazz fusion, but there's like this something about it that sounds very refined and just, I don't know, it's like music designed to enjoy while you sit, you know. It is, and I don't know, there's something about they still make it digestible. It's not too much, it's not too crazy, you know. So, like some Aldi Meola and maybe like Chick Corea, you know, their early stuff is very wild and it might be a little bit too much. This is very digestible. You can just sit down and enjoy. I mean, still, you know, it's instrumental music with a lot of virtuoso, you know, lines and stuff. And but man, the drumming here, the guitar was beautiful. The atmospheres, the chords of the keyboard player and piano. You know, we have on the guitar. I've never heard his name. Issei Noro, electric guitar, the Yamaha SG 2000. There's so many people that use this amp for some reason. There was something about it. I think Holsworth did it. Chris Poland of Megadeth. He's an amazing jazz fusion player as well after Megadeth. And yeah, Tetsu Sakurai, that was definitely a fretless bass. I was going to mention that, but I didn't. And then Takashi Sasaki on drums. Man, what a great tune. Awesome stuff. So yeah, so and I'm happy that for some reason these songs that you choose, the Tetsuo song, that's the one that he chose. So that was kind of cool that I mentioned him. And I've seen I owned a DVD of this concert with Dennis Chambers and Greg Howe, and it's amazing. So if you, I'm sure it's now on YouTube, you can watch it. But Gentle Hearts, check out their Gentle Hearts DVD concert. Amazing. Okay, now let's switch over to the second album here. I mean, the next one. So this is Midnight Rendezvous. Let's see. Let me just check. This is called Casiopea album. Let's see. I want to see if that's their first. Casiopea 1979. Jazz fusion group from Japan. So, oh wow, I didn't even know that they only recorded 2 albums. That blows my mind. Oh, wait a minute. Superflight? Oh, no. I'm super wrong. It was just, it showed 2 and then nothing. No. They recorded, let's see if I can see it here. I was like shocked. No, definitely more. Because they did Thunder Life, Makeup City in the 80s, Eyes of the Mind, Crosspoint, Mint Jams, 4x4. Oh, the list goes on. The list goes on. Yeah, I was like, what? Okay. All right, let's go back to the first one. So now we're switching. So this was they recorded 2 albums in the same year, the first and the second. So who's on the bass here? Of course, also Tetsuo. Takashi Sasaki on drums. Same guitar player. And I think this is a different piano player. But hey, it doesn't matter. So we're going to play the song Midnight Rendezvous. And number 4. Here we go and enjoy. Let's check it out. love how I love how this music has such great themes. Like they come up with a first theme and then it's like, oh, it's a great theme, you know? And then they come up with this second theme. It's like a theme, like the music tells a story. And it's just like you can sing along, you can whistle along, you can just vibe. And these amazing improvisations. The piano was off the charts. And then the guitar player, this beautiful. It reminded me a little bit of Frank Gambale. Check him out, please. Eric, he's gonna blow your mind. Maybe start with. I mean, he also played with Chick Corea, but he also has this other band with, what's his name? Steve. No. Smith. Is it Steve? Steve Smith from Journey. Who? Oh my God, Journey has like the best of jazz fusion drummer that you can imagine. For being a rock band, he is just off the charts. And he has this other band called Vital Information. Check it out. Let's continue with this because I'm already looking at the album of Tony Williams. Oh my God. I mean, the guest musicians, I'm a fan of each and all of them. So let's listen to this. A wonderful, wonderful tune here. I like this even more than the first one. I don't know why, but there's something about it. There's this, it has like this glamorous, you know, sound to it. Like it sounds really, I don't know, like you're some, I don't know, you're like part of this amazing party and they're playing this wonderful music. And I don't know, it's just wonderful. So let's keep going. So good. So good. If I would have, if somebody would tell me, you only can listen to jazz fusion for the rest of your life, I would be fine. Totally fine. Because for me, you know, instrumental music has always been in the forefront. Even when I would listen to before I would get into like instrumental music, I was always a fan of the instrumentals. My favorite track on Metallica's Master of Puppets was Orion. My favorite track on Ride the Lightning was The Call of Cthulhu, and so on. My favorite track on Iron Maiden's first album was Transylvania. All instrumentals. Like, I don't know, I've always been a fan of instrumental music, and that's why I was so addicted to Yngwie Malmsteen's first album. There's all of them are instrumental except 2 songs, and it's just like that's what I want, you know. That's what I jam with. So this track was just fantastic, beautiful, just I need to listen to it again. I literally want to right now, but I can't. We have to continue with the video. But everything about this was amazing. The themes, you know, the ideas, the improvisation, all the musicians here, and I'm just gonna take a deep, because I'm not gonna get many Casiopea requests on this channel, I'm sure. So this is one band that I can just, you know, dive into. So this next one, Tony Williams. So check out the people involved on this. So we have the Brecker brothers. We have Jan Hammer, Tony Williams, of course, Herbie Hancock. We saw live, amazing. Brian Auger. We have George Benson. On this track that we're going to listen to, we have George Benson. Ronnie Montrose is on this album. Tom Scott, Cecil Taylor, Ralph McDonald, Paul Jackson on this track as well. Mario Cipollina. It's just like, yeah, I mean, just to have Stanley Clarke, you know, and Herbie Hancock and Tony Williams and Jan Hammer on the same album. That's like, yeah. So this is from 1978. The Joy of Flying, Tony Williams. And yeah, like I said, Tony Williams, I got into Tony Williams. The Believe album, I think was it called? Because of Holdsworth. And that's the only one that I would listen to, you know, because it was really, really hard to get this music in Mexico. Wait, it's called Lifetime, I think. Wait a minute, maybe I'm wrong. Believe It, that's the one. 1975 with Holdsworth. And I think the band was called Tony Williams Lifetime. So yeah, so good. Okay, so without further ado, let's check it out. So just for the jazz freaks out there, which I'm one of them. So this is Jan Hammer is on this. We have Herbie Hancock is not on this track. Let me see. George Benson is on the guitar. Paul Jackson is on, let's see here, on the bass. And who's on the drums? Tony Williams, of course. Okay, there we go. So we got four legends playing some good music. So this is called Coming Back Home. Here we go. Those ideas by Jan here. George Benson. good. I mean, that sound that Jan Hammer has, it's so, I've heard it on Al Di Meola's records, of course, Mahavishnu Orchestra by himself. He is such an innovator. He has that theme he came up, and then he gave George Benson such an amazing space to play. George Benson is a beast, honestly. He inspired so many great guitar players like Pat Metheny. It's amazing, this guy. And then he just goes from like 16th notes to like so fast. In just like, I don't know, he just like decides to play. I don't know. It's amazing how fast he plays and how complex his, you know, his phrasing is, you know, and then he just like goes into this hyperdrive, like this picking, for that time, you know, because I just saw this article on guitar players and how easy it is nowadays for people to get good, and you know, because there's so much to choose from, to study, and there's all this like all this stuff that you can just like buy and pick up, and books and tabs and videos, and you can just learn, and you become this monster of, you know, this virtuoso. These guys like didn't have that. They just came up with the stuff, and they're the real, you know, the real goats, you know. Tony Williams here, I mean, the drumming just amazing. Everything, I mean, Paul Jackson on the bass. I mean, just to have Stanley Clarke, I mean, so good. What can I say? This is my music. This is the stuff. Even though there's so much of this, you know, that it's like also. But I read a little bit here of trivia, so this was like kind of like his first solo album. It says here, it was recorded at the end of Tony Williams' lifetime years, and is considered his first solo album since 1966. It included 3 duets with 2 with Mahavishnu Orchestra keyboardist Jan Hammer, and 1 with free jazz pianist Cecil Taylor, and 3 different quartets. The first featured Hammer along with guitarist George Benson and bassist Paul Jackson. The second featured Herbie Hancock, bassist Stanley Clarke, and Tom Scott on Lycran. And the third featured guitarist Ronnie Montrose, keyboardist Brian Auger, and bass guitarist Mario Cipollina. So yeah, I mean, this record is like, it's one of those that you have to own. I love the eagle with the drumsticks. Just so cool. You'll see it on my thumbnail. This was amazing. Thank you so much, Eric. This is my music, and I'm happy that you're a fan of this stuff, you know. There's nothing but positive vibes towards this. This was so great. Thank you. I hope this gets a lot of views, not because, as you guys know, we don't make any money off these videos, but I think it's a passion of mine to make these videos and get people on this music, you know. And some people are like, oh yeah, I'm not crazy about this. We just posted something very, very proggy, but you know, also kind of like a little bit heavy. And the reaction is like people listen to it and they just don't comment, and you know, that gives away I post a video and it gets like 100 views or 200 views, even though we have almost 120,000 subscribers. It's just, I think it's just YouTube kind of like not, you know, putting it out there, because I don't know, I can't believe that so many people are just not interested in something that they don't know, you know. Or maybe that's the way it is. If it doesn't say, you know, Phil Collins or Pink Floyd or Neil Young, then people don't watch the video. And that's kind of sad, because why would you only want to watch stuff that you already know? Like, why wouldn't you want to discover? and it's really hard to get people to click on videos, and I don't want to be clickbaity. I don't like it. I've done it a few times, and I always feel kind of guilty about it afterwards, because you're basically tricking people into something that's not there, you know. So that's not what the channel is about. But hey, let's hope for more jazz freaks, you know, to show up, and maybe, you know, that's what my idea was in the beginning, to make a jazz channel, and then it got taken down by YouTube. And then Alexa said, hey, why don't you show me this stuff, and let's make a reaction channel. That's how this whole thing came together. So I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you so much, Eric, for this wonderful marathon request. I appreciate it. And yeah, you know, let me know what you think in the comment section. If you want to thank the person who, you know, of course, sponsored the video, Eric, I love when you guys do that. And yeah, let me know. Have you ever heard these guys? Have you seen them live? What do you think? Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you all in the next one.